this demonstration, I'll be showing you how to set up your own local preferences for Vast Point of Sale and the usage of Vast Commerce Catalog. Each of you will be sent an email with the URL link, as you see at the top of my screen here, or basically the web address of the Preference Manager. Along with that URL link or shortcut, you will be given a username and a password that is specific to your location and your preferences. Upon logging in with your username and password, you will see a screen similar to this. Instead of it saying Marty, it will have the name of your preferences, typically an abbreviated name of your shop. Okay. From this screen, to set up any particular catalog brand so that it automatically appears when entering the catalog, you would go into the function here, By Supplier. When I click on By Supplier, I get a list. I can type in a partial name of the supplier here, and then it will give me a drop down with everything that matches my abbreviated statement here. So if I were looking for a brand of parts such as, let's say, Airtex, I can type in AIRT, like Airtex, click on Filter, and now my drop-down menu shows me everything on the catalog that has AIRT included with it. In this demonstration, if I wanted Airtex water pumps to be displayed anytime I was looking for a brand of water pumps in the catalog, I would simply put a check mark or select it. And now under Airtex, they offer several different part types in the catalog. You could be looking at accessory drive belts, hardware, radiators, coolant, valve train components, and water pump and related components. Now, this is just a summary of the description of all of the catalogs or subcategories that are available within that particular part type. So if you wanted water pumps and related components, I could click on Show Part Types here, and it shows me a detailed description of what catalog types would be included in that lookup. It says that that would include auxiliary water pumps and engine water pumps. You can see here that currently my display ranking on that particular part type of water pumps and related components is labeled as a 99. At the top of my screen here, you see where it says if a 1 through 49 is added to the display ranking, it will be considered a primary line. I currently have 33 different products labeled as a primary. If you number it with a 50 through 98, it's considered a secondary line, and I only have one item currently labeled as a secondary product. And finally, 99 simply means that it's disabled. If it's disabled, the product will not automatically appear in Vast Point of Sale when looking up Airtex. So I'm going to show you a demonstration right now. So with Airtex water pumps, currently I'm only looking at accessory drive belt system components, and it's set up for a display ranking of a 1, meaning it's going to be the top of my list. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Vast Point of Sale, and I'm going to open up a work order. I'll pull up this contour here, and when I right click on the mouse, I can go to Vast Commerce, and I can go to either V-Item Broker or Parts. Either one is going to give me the same results. When I click on V-Item Broker and look under Belts and Cooling and double click on Water Pump Gaskets, Fan, and Clutch, it will look at my local inventory to determine if I have any parts that fit that particular vehicle, year, make, and model. And you can see it came up with a red X. That is because I have not yet enabled the Airtex water pumps to be returned. So I'm going to close this window. I'll go back to my Preference Manager for Airtex water pumps, and under water pump and related components, I'm simply going to give it a display ranking of a 1 through 49 or a 50 through 98. It doesn't really matter for this demonstration. And I will give it a brand code, or what we would consider a manufacturer line code, and I'm just going to type in AIR. Now, in order for these changes to take effect, you simply click on Update Preferences. Tells me right now that the preferences were updated. Since this is a cloud-based utility, it is immediate. There's nothing else that I need to do. I can simply go right back to my repair order for this same 99 contour, right-click, go to Vast Commerce, V-Item Broker. Again, I'll choose Belts and Cooling, and when I double-click on water pump, gaskets, fan, and clutch, you'll notice that now it automatically displayed the Airtex water pump part numbers and descriptions for this particular vehicle. If I close this, it just takes me back to my catalog lookup screen. I'll cancel out of there. And let's try that once again. If I click on my preference manager, I could choose another brand of water pumps. To continue with the demonstration, I'm simply going to choose Duralast. I'll type in D-U-R-I-L and hit filter. And on my drop-down list, I see several different things with Duralast. And what I want to do is I want to scroll down and I'll say AutoZone, Duralast, and look for water pumps. And here I see AutoZone water pumps Duralast or Duralast Gold. I could select either or both of these. So in this instance, I'm going to do both. I'll click on Duralast first. Here I see four different part type categories. I'm only interested in adding Duralast water pumps to my list. So again, I'll simply give it a number. And in this case, I'm going to give it a number 2, which means that in sequence or in priority, it will put Duralast beneath the Airtex. And I'll just give it a brand code of DUR for Duralast and update my preferences. That's done. I'll now select the Duralast Gold water pumps. Here I only have one part category. And again, I'll give that a 3, which will put that third in my sequence. And I'll stick with DUR for Duralast and update my preferences. That is now updated, and now if I go into Vast, right-click, Vast Commerce, V-Item Broker, again go to Belts and Cooling, choose water pump, gasket, fan, and clutch. Now you'll see that it returned results for my vehicle with Airtex and AutoZone water pump Duralast. Apparently, there is not a Duralast or a AutoZone water pump Duralast Gold to fit that vehicle. But you see how simple it is to add to your preference list. You always have the ability on the fly to click on all lines here. By clicking on all lines, you could select from any different brand on this list, and it would show you a water pump for that particular vehicle. The ability to click on Motorcraft and maybe a couple of different brands. Let me choose Napa water pumps, and if I hit search, it shows me the Watercraft and the Napa water pumps. Now that's nice to use the all lines feature or functionality when you're just trying to look up something on the fly real quick. Like it shows you the brand, it shows you the part number, the description, etc. And additionally here on Motorcraft, you can see that there are even little image buttons here where I can click on that and it will show me some details of that particular product. So here's just coolant, but if I clicked on the water pump here, I see the images of the water pump as well as several different attributes of that water pump, such as the life cycle, so on and so forth. So I could print that or just hit OK and it takes me back to the list. At that point, if I wanted to use or sell that water pump, I could simply put a check mark on it and post it in the bottom right hand corner to the repair order, or alternately I could click on labor. It remembered the fact that I was looking for a water pump. I could simply double click on water pump and it takes me right to water pump R&R for that particular vehicle, year, make, and model. I'll put a check mark on it and post it, and it brings over the part and the labor. Now, because I didn't have that part number built with any pricing, I would still need to include or put in what my cost is and what my selling price is on that particular water pump. But for demonstration purposes of showing you how to update your local preferences based on the product lines that you would like to have appear automatically when going into either V-Item Broker or parts, it's as simple as that. Here's my Airtex water pumps and my AutoZone water pumps. If I close this and go into a different work order for a different vehicle, I'll pull up this test Buick Encore here. And in the case of that, if I went into parts and belt and cooling and water pump, here it comes back again with the Airtex and the AutoZone Duralast. And I can close out of there. Hopefully this video helps, give you some examples of how to set up your preference manager. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to call anytime. Thank you.